Good morning. It does look like I'm live. I'm not sure if I am in my Body Soul app. It's not coming up, but maybe there is that delay. Just the vagaries of technology. I still have a very zoomed in screen on my BeLive. The rest of the computer's fine. It's just the BeLive. So I'm not sure what I did last night, but something happened and it went weird. I did find out, though, that the Mighty Mouse, this little doover, to zoom in and out quickly, it's a double tap with the single finger, which does work. But in this instance, on my screen this morning, it certainly hasn't brought it back to what's normal. So here we go. I'm just going to try and bring up comments, like I can. There they are, and you're seeing them easily. And there we go. Good morning, Rena. You've barely just woken up. You've had a sleep in. Yeah, it's not, pushing buttons, but on the Mighty Mouse, there's not actually a specific button. It's the whole top of it does things. And if you're not careful, yes, you can do things. But it wasn't me. Well, it sort of was, but I don't know how to get it back on the BeLive. It's a bit weird. I've got to really study it. And good morning, Kerry Ann. Lovely to see you here as well. And we have Kylie here as well. Thank you for being here. So good morning. And, oh, God, yes, it is going to play funny buggers with me because of the size of it. And also have, I don't know why it's not going to my Body Soul app. I'll just have to go out of it, I think, and open it up again. I certainly have it going, saying it's live streaming on my, there. I just had to close out, come back in on the iPad. So there we go. So what I'm going to do is shift over to the cards. I just had to come and turn that down. The things that we got to sort out, isn't it? Oh, I haven't lined that up properly, have I? Hang on. Let's just go this way because it's not close enough with these little cards. And hopefully you've got that where it's actually looking reasonable so that you can see it. And I shall get rid of the on-screen scroller. Okay, that's done. Now we can actually see, well, I can on the front end here. I can see where it is. The cards laid out very nicely, aren't they? Now what we have is this deck here. I've just got to find the central one that is there. I've taken from the Australian Wildlife Wisdom card deck, and they're by Trevor and Susan O'Sullivan, as you can see. And these are just Australian wildlife. So what you're seeing here is the Murray cod. I'll hold it closer so you've got a good look. Murray cod is about actions and consequences. So what we're looking at here in the energy of this card, that is, I'll just say it's, yes, it is the central one. So I'm just going to look that up. These ones are quite long interpretations here on the book, and I don't know them all that well. I will need to just read that. So it's about, if any of you know the Murray River world, there's a few of you that probably don't, because you're not always, and not all of you are here from Australia, are you? Some are from overseas. So I got to Kylie. We've got Rachel here as well. Good morning. And I don't think I can see where you are by just, no, I can't highlight where you are. Leslie, good morning. Lovely to have you here as well. And we've got Diane as well too. So it's good morning. And for those who I have probably not introduced myself to, I'm Ros Boundy Psychic Medium. You'll see my website just straight up there. That reference is to the website. And this chair is getting squeakier. I can hear it. I've got to be more careful. Can you hear the squeaky chair? Just wanting to know. So I will read some of this because it's relevant to the actual card. Gee, it is a long one here. It is actually quite long. Anyway, it's a Saturday morning, isn't it? So we can spend the time, can't we? We're investing our time in ourselves. So the Murray cod, actions and consequences. Majestic red gums stand tall with their leaves singing in the breeze. The air is alive with the chatter of corellas and galahs amongst the treetops. The cool breath of the morning air soon gives way as the sun glides smoothly overhead. The air... I'm just seeing that. Yes, the chair squeaks are quite loud. I'm going to have to oil it, aren't I? Unlike these beautiful galahs that are in the tree tops. So the air thickens as the summer sun toasts the landscape. The cicada's shrill call is raised, and the waterfowl take refuge to stand in the welcome shade of the river gums. All this continues as it has since time began on the banks of the majestic Murray River. The cycles of the plants and animals revolve endlessly with the seasons, as life on the river brings the senses alive. The eyes and ears are provided with endless stimulation as they feast upon the offerings of the Old Man River, as he supports all that passes by. The tranquil, cool waters of the Murray River provide a home to many species that are neither seen nor heard. It is here that earth supports water and water supports earth, for one could not be without the other. This balance is essential for the survival of the river's largest inhabitants, the Murray cod, which is the card we're reading. Murray cod can grow to 2 metres in length and can weigh over 100 kilos. When they're fully grown, they're at the top of the food chain in the River Murray home. This regal fish takes on the role of king and queen in their watery realm. The health of the river is critical for their survival. So when the river floods, it's time for Murray cod to breed. It takes a large influx of water and a change of water temperature to stimulate the breeding cycle. And in times of prolonged drought, when river levels drop, Murray cod's breeding urges lay dormant for years at a time. So numbers of Murray cod have flourished for eons as the Murray River flowed freely. When the rains fell and the snow melted, the waters rose and fell naturally, assisting Murray cod's breeding cycles. As Europeans settled along the river, however, they mastered all that they saw. They understood very little about how their actions would affect the natural habitat of our native flora and fauna. In a little over 200 years of settlement, the Murray has been dammed and the natural flow has been diverted. This means that little or no flooding now occurs. The seasonal floodwaters are diverted and harnessed for power generation and to flood cultivated farmland. This, unfortunately, has all but ended the natural cycle of the Murray cod. Every action has a consequence. I'm so sorry. That one's funny. I have to put it up, Rena. So maybe that's where your breeding urges are gone. Oh, yeah, I understand that. Once all the eggs are gone, though. Menopause. Anyway, if Murray cod has come to your hand today, you're asked to look at the motivation behind your actions. So Murray cod has told you of the course of action that has been the cause of difficulties in their survival. The universal message is that there's no right or wrong, just actions and consequences. So Murray cod is your messenger to take conscious decisions and remember to become aware of all potential outcomes and effects before actions are taken. Murray cod says, think through your motivation and with pure intent. Assess the consequences and then take action. So that's what we're looking at this morning. So the Murray cod is also asking, are your actions in your current circumstances motivated by personal fulfillment for the good of all, or do they negatively influence at the expense of others? We've come to remind you about karmic actions and consequences. Be careful what you create today, for it is said that through the cycle of birth and death, in future births, we create our own destiny and we reap what we've sown in our past lives. So that certainly is a very strong message, I feel, in having the Murray cod show up for the actions, with actions and consequences in our morning to show us for today. But it's even beyond today. It's not just for today. And good morning to whoever signed in with my time. Lovely to have you here. Be nice to know who's commenting because I don't see that part of it on the end here. Now, to the other three. Now, they do come from the Rana George Lenormand deck because this is still my daily Lenormand card reading. So what we have here in this one is the garden or the parks, like it is in the Gilded Reverie deck. I'll just try and get it focused, and this camera doesn't like to focus on these cards because of the gilding. I think it's just too much sparkly stuff for it. But that's the park. So we've got the park. Keep that in mind. And here we've got the clouds. That's the cloud card. That hasn't got as much gilding, so it didn't really take much time to focus. And here we have our clover, the beautiful clover card. The gorgeous colours that we see in these cards. Now, as we look with the park and the clouds to each side of Murray Cod and the clover below, what I'm feeling with the energy of this is that, oh, excuse me. There's Sarah. Good morning to you, Sarah. What I'm feeling with the energy of these two is that co-balancing, almost like there's the actions and consequences here. Some of what occurs in the natural realm isn't within our control, like the clouds, the rain, the sunshine, all of that is around and about us. And this is indicating part of this story that I just read from the Murray Cod card meaning, is that the Europeans came to our lands to control, do all that they have. Here we have a beautiful formal garden, a park land, it's whatever it is, the other structures having been tailored and controlled into this formal aspect. It is what we have become used to, and it is that we are able to live on the land as we do, so long as there is that consideration for what is the best for all, overall, and for the good of all. And, we can live in conjunction with the natural resources that occur, the rainfall and things like that. But there are those moments, where the cod really needing, the Murray cod really needing to have that flush of flooding and all the rest to breed and give health to the Murray River. It's needing that way of balancing for us as the people, that the humans who are touching the ground in ways, touching earth in ways and having effects that have not been good. It is beyond time that we're needing to look back at our environment, allow the more natural flow of what is in our weather, instead of putting up dams or walls or, reservoirs and all of that to bring it into, well, I know we've got to have that for human water supply, but there needs to be still that level of water back to the environment to allow it to continue to be that healthy flow that we can then continue to use the resources in wise ways, that we're not just depleting and raping Mother Earth, because that in effect is what is happening. So that's where I'm feeling this actions and consequences. The clouds are supporting that. Mother Nature does have control above all when you look at what news brings forward of, like floods that have been recently happening in Broome, for instance, and the other side of Australia in, was it Sydney, in Queensland somewhere? See, I don't watch the news sometimes for the weather, but I tend not to watch what someone else is trying to tell us. That's all they want to tell us. They don't tell the full truth. So here we are. We've got Mother Nature really is that element that we don't have control over as much as what people would like to. So we're needing to really hone in on what are our actions and the consequences of them. Be more minimalistic in how we live, in how we're treading on the earth. And with the clover card, it is good luck. Look, once we start taking those steps, it is bringing in that good luck factor. Oh, good morning, Kim. I just noticed you're there. A little late. You'll have to watch the replay. Hey, that's all right. That's the thing with this technology. It does allow the replay to happen almost instantly, so that's wonderful. So with this, here we have the lucky clover. It's bringing in those thoughts and intentions that are along the positive, that we can balance what we're using with what Mother Nature needs to continue doing in the process, so that, you know, our actions have the right consequences, that we can actually bring back more and more of that natural balance of what is needed by our living species. And it's not just in the Murray River, it's on the land, it's in the fields, it's in the air, it's in the oceans, it's everywhere that we need to be more mindful and thoughtful, bringing the intentions followed by the actions to actually start reversing some of the damage that has been done. So that's the reading for this morning. If you'd like to replay, you can replay and watch what bits you need to bring some of that even more to mind. It was a little bit of a long story that goes with the Murray Cod as that central card to this morning, but it's as I went to my drawer of card decks, because, you know, with weekends I do use the different ones, and so with that, I know it's a weekend. It's not so much that I like doing what I do, so I keep working through unless I really bring to mind that, hey, hang on, I need some rest too. And I think that's where for each and every one of you do need some rest as well. And it might be that you do think of those areas in your own home, your own workspace and places that you can actually put your conscious thinking into bringing forward more of the, the minimalizing, or, the better for all actions that we can put into our day, every day, so that we are minimalizing the damage that we've created to Mother Earth, that hopefully we can reverse it, because it's a wonderful thing that the Mother Earth does have the ability to regenerate fairly well without our help. And if we just leave it alone, leave the natural due process of the seasons and the landscapes and everything to balance out as it needs to, just have a look at how you would feel having your space invaded by others to just be taken control of. And I'm sure that the earth really needs us to be more conscious of what we're doing out and about, even in our daily activities that we've automatically and unconsciously created as habits. Think more mindfully of what we do and what the consequences are, and change the actions if it's needed. Okay. Manham, wow, that's wonderful, having a bit of a break. Oh, that's good. It's a nice place up there, and you are definitely at the Murray River to take note more intently, really, of what today's cards are actually showing. That's wonderful. Great, Sarah, thank you for that. So I'll leave it there, and we shall meet again tomorrow morning at around the 8 o'clock. I'll sort out what this jolly zoomed in factor has done. It's okay on my Google Chrome plain, but not on the BeLive. I've done something. I must have pressed a button wrong. Look, it's just wonderful to have the technology in the first place, isn't it? So thank you, each and every one of you. I did just notice there, Rehanaf, this is a general card spread reading. I don't do the individual ones. What you need to be doing is tuning into, Leanne Winston does Wednesday night free mini readings, and we do a combined one on Friday night as free mini readings. So you missed out last night's, and that was an event and a half. I only had one wine too, and the button just went, oh no, that's the Mighty Mouse. That is the Mighty Mouse. So there you go. So thank you, Rena, and thank you, Kim. Lovely to have you here as always. And hi, Michaela. You'll need to watch the replay, won't you? But it's there. It will be as soon as I hang up, so to speak, or end the broadcast. So thank you. Just keep being the best you, each and every one of you. It is your responsibility to be the best you. Only you can do it. So keep moving along in life, enjoy it, have fun, I'm so grateful for having you here. Be grateful for who you are. Love that inner self too. Whoops. And what's this one? What have you got? Perhaps you need a reminder scroll about readings for new visitors. Well, it is in the description that it is a general card spread reading. Well, that's if it's still up there. But yeah, it's a good idea. I did at some point earlier. So, okay. Oh, whoops, that one. And Sarah's saying thank you. So that's fine. Good. And does that? Yes, they do show up. That's cool. Good. So thank you, each and every one of you. And I shall have to find the end button because it's on a big screen now. Thank you. Namaste.